said I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features that you can identify her by? Particular features? It's a disgrace, that's what it is! Sorry? You can see all the way up to her... you know!
Oh, tomorrow's your birthday! Happy early birthday! I'm back! I can't stream tomorrow because I'm working. But maybe on Sunday I can, Tex. Oh my god, you guys. Phoenix tried Ace Attorney. It's not like Godot's watching this stream right now, is it?
She's practically naked in that uniform!
Thank you!
So, the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit? But anyone could wear just such a uniform, even me! Mr. Wright, please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image!
Don't get all excited, Nick. You've got to keep yourself together.
I guess I got a bit carried away. Gah! There are other things I recognize about her, too! He seems pretty sure of himself. What should I do? Sure, you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim. I almost said to the uniform. Oh my god. But what matters is whether that waitress was Maggie Bird or not.
For Lullaby. That's something for Lullaby. Aw, see you later, Jonah. Have a good one. Or at least, I guess... Oh! Thank you! Jeez, you guys.
Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these other features that you recognize about the defendant, I would ask you to add them to your testimony. Sure, sure.
Oh, sorry, the statement was there was a ribbon in her hair and her apron straps were loose. Sorry, I missed that.
You do seem to remember several details about her appearance. But what about the most crucial detail of all? Her face. Gah! As if I wouldn't remember that!
Objection!
The witness noticed the straps on the accused's apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face. That's right! I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair! It was red! So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. No doubt he remembers the waitress pretty well. What should I do? I get the feeling there's something more to this somehow.
What?
The identifying features you described are all things you would see from the back. So what?
What? Remember Neo? I can't. Oh my god, this is great. I love your typos so much, all of you.
Is it possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all?
Objection!
Huh. He's got you there, Gramps. People normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons. This is harassment! I tell you, I'm not obsessed with straps or ribbons!
Is that what I think it is? I think I have this picture. Maybe. Unless it's different.
I'm just telling you what I saw! Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features. Features you observed from the front, that is, to your testimony.
Sure. This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer.
If I can't find a hole in it soon, it'll get even longer, I bet. Linger. There wasn't anything that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front.
Wow. Really? Are you sure?
Objection!
Mr. Kudo, I'd like you to please take a look at this. That filthy thing would suit filth like you just perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like just after he's done eating. Have you ever seen this before? Of course I haven't! Do you think I'd forget something as dirty as that? Well, you half-witted clot!
I love Smug Phoenix.
What? What is it? Ever since I said you half-witted clot, there's been an eerie silence in here. Mr. Kudo, this apron is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning. And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means, if you had really seen this apron before... Yes, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front. Oops.
Smug kid. Hide and seek.
Witness! You can't just oops your way out of this. Well. Looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Listen, Trite. Here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant. That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bird. Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison into the coffee cup, this old guy was watching. I hope you understand the gravity of this situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of... I don't know why I read it like that. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say you remember seeing. Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps. You can rely on me, Captain. My nocken's in perfect working order. I can't remember a single occasion when I forgot what burger a customer wanted.
He can't remember? Probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out.
Very well, let's test just how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim.
I don't think he did.
He was another one of those pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy brat kept rustling its pages. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. Then the serving girl in question brought over the Javachino. The little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. The testimony we have just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail. Oh, yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything.
How are we gonna handle this, Nick?
We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot.
Just trip him up, you mean? Isn't that kinda cruel?
I suppose, but it's what I do best.
Why? Oh, because of his nose?
Objection!
The red-nosed grandpa, the red-nosed grandpa. Kudo, the red-nosed grandpa. It flows.
Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of this testimony? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory? I know! There's nothing wrong with my memory, I tell you! Nothing! If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song! Care to tell us where this is going, Trite? According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand. while drinking coffee with his free hand, which would make that his left. Ka! What is this, kindergarten? But I'd like the court to please take a look at this. That's the cup the victim used, correct? Yes, and on the rim, you'll notice the mark left by the victim's lips. Yes, there is a stain left by the coffee. If you consider where that stain is, you'll clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand. But how? Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you'd eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song. Ah! Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think the witness had better go back to the park where he came from. Wait! If you think I'm gonna stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong! I don't care about that dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw. You still insist on your testimony? That young brat was holding the cup in his left hand. Oh, yes, no question. I'm a good law-abiding citizen, I am. It's that dead young hotbot and you spiky-haired yahoo who are at fault. Me? Thank you, old man. We've heard quite enough from you already. Don't call me old man, old man. Been around for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say! I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but... Sure, why not hear a little more? Mr. Kudo! But this is my 16th cup of coffee, so this is your final stand. Thank you, Captain! You can rely on Victor!
Are you guys okay? Stream okay?
The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup his left hand. Derp, derp. We know that the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye. It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It was a small computer monitor often used by programmers.
Oh, welcome back.
A monitor? You mean like a television screen? The inside of the lens is a screen that displays computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool in the victim's line of work. HD, TV, DVD, CD, all these newfangled letters drive me mad, but they don't matter. I know what I saw, and I'm telling the truth. It's true. He doesn't seem to be lying. And those are the facts, in good old black and white.
Your English, on the other hand.
I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but... Mr. Kudo, there's something very strange about your observations of the victim. What? You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the HMD. No question! You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. I could only see that side of his head from where I was sitting. I don't think so. What did you say? You're no doubt unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo, but the victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured. Eh? Traces of medication for his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right, it's impossible that the victim was wearing his earpiece in his left ear, because he couldn't even hear in that ear. Is that true, Captain? It is. Pigeon! Pretty pigeon!
Oh god.
Order! 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 This witness's testimony is completely unreliable. He only saw the witness from behind. And he claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when we know his eardrum was ruptured. Rapture! Shit, we're all going... Great. Bioshock. Well, Mr. Godot? A single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk. Captain! Are you calling me a trip? This is the victim's coffee cup in which the potassium cyanide was found. The mark on the rim clearly shows that the victim picked it up with his right hand. I'll never back down! I know I'm right! The lad drank his Javachino with his left hand!
Raptured!
Let me put you out of your misery. Clearly, the victim used both hands. Would you kindly fix his ear?
Damn it, Ab!
He took a sip with the cup held in his right hand and then switched to his left. That's what the old man saw.
Reptar?
Impossible. The witness has already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip of the coffee.
Objection!
Which hand the victim used to pick up his cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. The facts still stand. With one hand or the other, Mr. Elk drank the poisoned coffee. Like this! Sadly, Mr. Godot, that doesn't wash. Yeah, I read it right. Whoa.
Gotta go fast.
The point of this testimony was to establish whether the witness's memory was credible. And the results are clear. The testimony given by this witness is useless. I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I'm satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court. But to be frank, his testimony is a farce. Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old fogey! I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, you can't reach me from there. I'm ordering the defense and the prosecution to investigate this case further. That is all for now. This court is adjourned.
I haven't.
Oh.
Wait!
If we stop now, where does that leave me? Leave you, Mr. Kudo? Thanks to that blue-suited young upstart over there. I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his I's or cross his... who can't even dot his T's or cross his I's now. How is your bad memory my fault? I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do. I've kept my mouth shut until now.
Huh? Oh, yes. Love it. Very nice, yes, good. I want that sweater.
I've kept my mouth shut until now, but there's something else the court should know.
Why Nana go? What?
What? There's more? To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything, but I want another chance.
Chiaki です。よろしくお願いします。
Thank you. Did something pop up or no? It scared me for a bit. I was like, wait, where's that coming from? Oh, it's coming from me. Anyways.
But I want another chance. I want another crack at you, you young shark. Me? He's looking at me like I'm some sort of evil shogun. Well, everyone, what do you say to one final showdown? The final chapter in this eccentric old man's scrapbook. Sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 17th cup of coffee. What do you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the coffee you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 68 years old, but Victor Kudo's still a man. That's enough, witness. I believe it'll be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony. You bet! Much, much quicker!
I can't believe this is happening.
You better get ready, youngster! Get the picture, just quit throwing those seeds at me, would you? He's gotta be using some sort of infinite ammo code with that box of seeds.
What do you mean getting that notification to pop up? What notification?
First of all, I want to stress that this might be nothing. I'm not too sure of myself. The young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took a sip of his Javachino. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. It broke, and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Well, how about that? Turn things upside down, hmm? Is that all? Yes, that's all. I remember it perfectly. Eh? You're doubting me again? You're doubting a poor, defenseless old man? No, we're not doubting you, Mr. Kudo.
Don't you get the feeling there's a question hanging around hanging on everyone's lips, Nick?
Yeah. So what? Probably. That's all I can think of, and I have to cross-examine this guy. You're a bird brain! You're a shit bird! That's why that's all you can think about. That's why that's all. Yep, okay. Very well, Mr. Wright, your final cross-examination, please.
Objection!
Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene. I don't know why I read it so robotically. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. So what? Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact. Huh? Lost your tongue, Granddad? I'm no granddad of yours, Hopscotch! Ow! Ow! Enough! If you throw any more seeds in this courtroom, the cleaners will be here all night. Ah! What is it now? I just remembered something. Yes? Go on. The broken vase? It was on my table. What? Well, you see, it startled me when that young lad collapsed, so I stood up. That must have been when it fell over. The vase on my table, I mean. The vase on your table? Yes, it was on my table, and that's how my groin came to be completely soaked. Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You've certainly earned your kudos for today. I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all? Perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo. Ah! Wait a minute! If that's the case, there's more! I've got more to say! Oh, yes, I remember something else. Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom. Wait! Listen to me! Well, we seem to have been considerably sidetracked, and I'm still not in a position to deliver a verdict. The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress in question, Additionally, there are two disparities in the testimony we've heard thus far. The mark on the coffee cup that the victim supposedly drank from with his left hand, and the earpiece which was inserted into his left ear, out of which he couldn't hear.
Wow, Nick! You did it!
I therefore require both the defense and the prosecution to further investigate the facts. Yes, Your Honor. There is one more thing before I call today's session to an end. One more thing, Your Honor? The witness we just heard from. He is most insistent that his testimony should be of use, so he summarized it accordingly into this statement. Okay. You may each have a copy of it, if you wish. Whatever. Prosecution doesn't need props like that.
Joe's really mad, huh?
Yeah, I would be too. Very well. Here you are then, Mr. Wright. There are 3 copies. My own, yours, and Mr. Godot's. Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry? This isn't a piece of testimony, more like a Sorry, I'm sorry? This isn't a piece of testimony, more like a 5-year-old's apology.
What the heck are we supposed to do with 3 copies?
That is all. The court is adjourned.